Hey guys, welcome to episode 5 of the Entropians Guide to the Universe. Today we're going to go over some basic mining. We're not going to get too much into the different finders and amps and things like that. We will do that in a later video on advanced mining techniques and equipment. But today we're just going to go over the basics. So, any planet you go to, you can find your finders in the TT machine under mining. For Entropia, those are going to be your punk metal detectors. And as you can see, I have one over here because I've got 9 of them. They cost 10 PEC, pretty cheap. And then the next thing you're going to need is some Sourvey probes. Those are 5 PED for 100. You know, that's generally a good place to start if you're new at mining. Just go ahead and... I've already got the probes I need too, but I just wanted to show you where you find these things. Now, another thing you're going to need if you don't have one already, which I have one from a different planet, is the digger. Gotta love Entropia. What the heck is going on here? But anyway, you want your extractor. I don't know what's going on with that wackiness there. You want to get an extractor. These are... Some of them are limited, some of them are not. The ones from Next Island I don't think are limited. There's
the finder from the TT and Next Island is unlimited, so I suggest you get that.
Yeah.
And it's only $240 to get it up to full TT.
Yeah, it costs 2.4 PED to get it up to full TT. This is the one from Entropia. They all look different, but they generally have the same stats and they do the same thing. So, now we're going to fly out to a place that I know that I usually do my mining on. It's over here by Camp Crunk on Entropia. And where we're going is pretty much mobless, so you can... Dang it. When I place my vehicle in the right spot, now I gotta wait. Nope, no I don't. Alright. So if you're at Camp Crunk and you want to do some really good mining, these islands out here, this first one I'm going to go to is mobless to a point, but it's, I'd want to say 75% mobless. And then you will run into some mobs, over here-ish.
I think they're werewolves.
And I do believe there are werewolves on this island. They have different ones on different islands. But this is usually where I start mining on Entropia. Now, a lot of people, they prefer to mine in a straight line, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just going to show you a different way to do it that may be a little bit more intrusive for you. I mean, intuitive, not intrusive. And what we're going to do is, instead of running in a straight line, when we first start out, let me get my finders and whatnot. See here, you can see I've got a punk metal detector. We equip it. Alright, now down here, what you're gonna want to notice is
them mobs are all fishes.
Yeah, the mobs over here are just fish. They're actually little sharks that they're all in the water, so don't worry about them. Now, as I was stating before, if you're looking for just end matters, this uses 1 probe. If you're looking for just ores, it uses 2 probes, but when you use them together, it'll use 3 probes at a time. And you see I've got 33 left, which we generally, when we mine, we'll go ahead and turn it on and look for both. You can look for one or the other. It just depends on your preference. There's really no special thing to that. It's whatever you feel like mining that day. So what you're going to do is, with your finder equipped, to drop a probe, you hit the E button and it'll drop a probe. Hopefully we'll get something so I can show you the rest of the method that I use. Nope, nothing there yet. Now, it's okay to run around and run in any direction you want to until you find a claim. And I'll show you here in a minute. I think I probably dropped that one too soon. Yeah. Now, one thing I wanted to point out, the range, hang on, let me get it up here. Hopefully that won't do some funky stuff. Now the range on this is 54 meters. So think of a probe when you drop it as it's building a sphere that is
around where you dropped
it. It's going to go 104 meters into the ground, and then it's going to build a sphere that is 54 meters in diameter in every direction. So think of it that way. You're actually building a sphere in the ground. So keep that in mind, because that'll be important later when we find a claim, and I'll show you why when we do find a claim. So let's see, we'll drop a probe and see what we get. And you'll notice I'm still running, which is okay until I find something. Oh, haven't found one there.
I normally run when I do it.
Well, like I said, I am running. But when you're running, it's fine to run in any direction you want until you... Man, that's the third probe without a... That's interesting. Normally, I'll get a hit within the first or second one. Sometimes the third one. Just depends. Good grief. Okay, now that we found a claim, here's where the range thing I was talking to you about comes into play. Now this one found some crude oil at 54 meters, but if we were to drop a probe right now, it would overlap because we're still within the range. So what you're going to do is you run right about out to, on your radar, put it about in the middle of the second line there. That means you're about, according to this, 70 meters away, so you're not going to overlap. Then what you do is you drop another probe, if I hit the right button.
You also had a cat helping you.
Well, that one didn't hit. Now the thing that I'm trying to point out here is, using this method, you literally use the survey probes as the name suggests. You're going to want to try and keep that in that 70 meter range or so, and drop another probe every so often till you hit another claim. There's another one. Now you'll see we've got 3 claims here. So what do? This one is on the far edge of the range, but these 2 are right up close to me. So what we're going to do is I'm going to turn a little bit this way so that it makes more of a triangle pattern.
Okay.
So here we are. I'm going to run, running this way. And I'm going to wait until I'm right about where a triangle would be, right about here, right? So then, wrong button. We're going to drop another probe. Now we may or may not find another claim this far away from them. It's about a 50-50 chance. Okay, so since we didn't find anything on that corner, we'll run this away towards the beach. Basically, what I'm trying to demonstrate here is you want to survey around with your survey probes. You don't want to, using this method, you don't run in a straight line. You do until you find a claim, and then you run around the area dropping probes. Okay, we haven't found anything else, so we're going to head back in the direction that we started. Now, the thing is, there are many different ways to mine. This is just one method. And just like any other method of mining, it does have hit or miss. This is not a guaranteed you're going to hit a claim every single time you drop a probe or anything like that, because as we all know, mining is also random. And it depends on if anybody's been here before me and how long ago that was. So here on the other side of the triangle, we're going to drop a probe. Maybe we'll get something, maybe we won't. See, as I said, it's still a little bit random. So since there was nothing on either side, we're going to keep running this way. But you notice I'm keeping my claims a little bit farther away from myself within that second circle there, or close to it. You know, it doesn't have to be exact. Then I'm going to drop another probe. And nothing there. This just might be a bad mining day, honestly.
The way you've been not hitting has told me somebody's been through here already.
I think somebody may have been through here. Yeah, I think somebody's been out here already, but that's okay. What we're doing is demonstrating the technique, not the finds. If somebody's been through here, don't worry. You can always go to a different location. Man, my metal detector is already up to tier 2.57 and I haven't really used it that much yet. That's kind of crazy. And you know, you might want to just randomly drop a probe. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's see if we can get this to actually be a good mining run.
Generally, for me anyway, if I drop 3 probes and don't hit anything, I move to a different area.
You can do that, or you can just keep going in the area you're in, because there might be the next probe you drop could be, see, there you go. Now you'll notice the depth on this is 165 meters, but wait a minute, didn't this say it only goes to 104? Now see, this is the thing. Sometimes this finder, the TT finder, will go a little bit deeper. This is the average, which means 9 times out of 10, that's about where it's going to be, but it can go deeper or it can go more shallow. It just depends. So we found a claim there. Now we've got 2 points that we can base our triangle on. And we'll move a little bit this way. And we'll drop another probe and see if we have any luck. See if it'll cooperate and demonstrate what I'm trying to demonstrate here. Yep, there's another one. Alright, so as you can see, basically what I'm doing is, there's 2 different ways I do this. I will work in either a triangle pattern, or I will take a claim and work in a spiral out from it. It just depends on where I'm at and if I have to deal with mobs and that kind of thing. So let's see, right about here should be another one. Now, like I said again, you're not guaranteed to hit anything using this method. It's just like any other mining. But I have found, for me, this is the method that works the best. Instead of just running in a straight line and dropping probes every 50 or 60 meters, I actually survey around with the survey probes, and I generally get some pretty decent results, as you can see. And like I said, it doesn't have to be exactly on that second line in your radar, just close to it is fine. And there's another hit. So there's a deposit over here somewhere, probably. I doubt we'll hit a tower, but you never know. That's the thing about mining, you never know until you do it. Well, there's another one. Okay, so basically what I'm doing, as you can see, is I'm just surveying around, dropping probes in between my claims here.
Can you mine underwater?
No, you cannot mine in water. I'll show that in a minute. And as you can see, now if we want to say there's something, it would be neat if we could mine underwater, but no, you can't. If you go in the water, you can't mine at all. Now you can get pretty close to the water and drop a probe, like right here, which, okay, we might find something. Nope. All right, so that tells me the edge of whatever's over here is probably right over here somewhere. Now, there are some other things I could have equipped that would make me run faster, but I don't. but that's okay. Sometimes you don't want to run too fast or you'll miss something. As you can see, I'm dropping a probe. Oh, my TT finder's out. So every now and then you're going to have to switch these out because they don't last very long. If you're dropping 3 probes at a time, I think it lasts for about 10 drops before it dies.
I've never counted.
I've never really counted it. But hey, these are cheap and they get the job done. Now, if I were using the F102, I would probably be getting a lot better hits as far as the sizes and things like that, but that's okay. Like I said, I don't have the ped to do that this time. This method also works with that finder. Any finder that you want to use, this will work for. It's not dependent on the finder or the amp or anything like that.
You need to tell it what.
Oh yeah. And when you first switch, you're not going to have anything available, so you do have to enable those again for every finder before it'll let you drop any probes. Wow, I'm getting 28 points of tier on each drop. That's crazy. Okay, so there's nothing over here. So what we're going to do is now we're going to use this and go over here-ish and drop another probe. Basically what I'm doing is I'm using my last claim as my origin point and then moving out from there. And as you can see, we're in between that claim and another one. All right, there's another one. Very good. Okay, so now we've got some claims. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pull those claims up. So this is the Next Island Exhumer, I believe. And this is unlimited, which means you only have to buy this one time. And you can repair it when it gets down to 0 again and reuse it again. And it's only, I think, 3 ped. Wait a minute.
2.4.
Yeah, 2.4 ped to fully repair it. Now, there are bigger extractors and, you know, things like that. But for what we're doing today, the basic mining, this is just fine. If you get a global or something like that, it will have no trouble pulling it out. You might have to repair it a few times, but it will still pull it out. So, let's see. These are the stats. Oh, my goodness. Look at the tier increase rate on that one. I didn't even realize that. But anyhow, so this is the Next Island extractor. So what we're going to do is we're going to come around this away. Now, generally, if you do a whole bunch of claims at once, they will end up where your ped card is. And if you want to find them, you can right click and tell it to create a waypoint for each one. And you'll notice on my radar, there should be some waypoints starting to show up. That'll show where everything is once I get them all waypointed.
A lot of people that I've talked to said the Exhumer Mark 1 from Next Island TT is the best TT Exhumer in the game.
Okay,
because
that's good to know.
It is repairable.
Yeah,
it's the only one in the TT that's repairable.
I don't think the others are. You're right. I think you're right about that.
So,
because I know the one for Entropia is not. And I'm pretty sure the one for Cali is, and I know the one for the Omegaton is not repairable either.
The Cali one is not. The Serene one is not.
So I think you're right about that. Now, as you can see, I've got all these claims all over the place, and you see the pattern that they're in. Now, I'm sure some of you are going crazy, going, that's not how you do it. But like I said, this is just one method. For me, this is the method that works the best. I've tried mining in a straight line. I really don't like doing it that way. This tends to return more hits and more claims than just running in a straight line dropping probes. That is one thing I have noticed. Now, it may not be the same for you. It may work just fine for you running in a straight line. It may not. But if you're not getting a lot of claims by doing the other way, running in a straight line, try doing it this way. This might be the thing that, helps you mine more and get more ores and matters and things like that and hit globals and whatnot. And like I said, this method is not dependent on the equipment. This is just more of a surveying instead of running in one direction, and using the probes as the name implies, as actual survey probes. And let's see what we're pulling up so far. Okay, so far we've got some Listrium and some crude oil. These you pick up, you don't mine for those. Those you pick up at Motorhead Stadium. Kind of like the crude oil you can get at the oil rig. It's the same kind of deal with those. You just go and pick them up when they spawn. Let's see. So, in a nutshell, that is the basics to mining. Do you have anything else that you want to add?
I use this method as well, and it works pretty good for me. I do recommend using both in matter and ore at the same time when you're mining, because then you don't have to go back over the same area you just surveyed with the other one.
Another thing is really, if you want to get the most bang for your buck, go ahead. Whoops, where am I going? Go ahead and drop for both, because it's a little bit more efficient that way. Otherwise, you're going to spend the same amount on probes doing it the other way as if you just mine for end matters and then come back through for ores or whatever. But it's just a little bit more efficient to mine for both at the same time.
It's less time consuming.
Yeah, and it's also less time consuming. So we will pull up the rest of this. And like I said, I didn't use all my probes, but I just wanted to demonstrate a basic mining method that anybody can use. You don't have to have a super duper finder or a super duper extractor. You can use the TT, the ones out of the TT machines to do this. And you will get globals, although it may not be as often as if you use an F102, F103, F101, whatever. But you will still get globals. Man, that one's way over there.
The F101 line goes up to 5.
Yeah. Pull the bunny out to run a little bit faster. Now this pet I have has an 8% run speed buff. And I think that's going to be my last claim. Yeah, that's the last one. Now, another thing I wanted to point out about your claims is if you don't know what you pulled up or what you found, hey, come back here. You can just mouse over it and it'll tell you what it is. Well, that one disappeared. It'll tell you what it is, it'll tell you how far down it is, and it'll tell you how big of a claim it is.
The size of the claim.
The size of the claim. So, that's about all I have for that. Is there anything else you want to add?
Nope.
Alright guys, thanks for being with us. This has been a basic mining video. Later on we are going to do a more advanced mining video that will include more in-depth details with the different finders and the different amps and things like that. But for now, if you just want to get started mining, here you go. This is the simplest way I've found to do it. So, be sure you like, share, subscribe, and tell your friends about us and spread us all out and do all that happy stuff. Look for us on Twitch soon. We are going to start our streams again pretty soon. Been kind of waiting on some things to happen, but, they've happened. So we will start that up very soon. See you guys in the next one. Bye.
so why? Where do I go? Player fresh in town, got so much to know. Guns to buy, monsters to fight, looking for a path in the dim moonlight. Entropia's calling, the player roams free, humming these blues in this wild new sea. Quest on my mind, coins in my hand, losing directions in this vast land. Friends I might find, or foes on the go. Every step's a gamble in this world of snow. Entropia's call.